Hello everybody, it is Ebontis here, and what I'm going to do in this series of videos is go through the characters at least available in the beta. We also know there's going to be Thor and Captain America later, and give you guys an idea of what the playstyle, the abilities, and stuff that we've got access to in the beta, so you can get a feel of which character you may want to jump in with first. And, this may steer you to like specializing one, or, remembering to make sure you get a certain ability a little bit in. So we're going to start with Miss Marvel, and I'm going to do one of these each day. So we're going to start with Miss Marvel, then we're going to, do each one next. We'll go Hulk, Iron Man, and then Black Widow last. So we'll do one of these videos a day, so if you guys want to see any of the future characters, hit that sub button, tune in. More Avengers content to come. When this game does come out, I probably plan on buying it and cover it a decent amount, because September feels like might be a light month, and this might be a fun thing to fill it with. So let's jump into Miss Marvel, or Kamala Khan, however you like to reference her. So the first thing about her, and don't worry about the level, the stats, the power, any of that stuff. That's all like gear and time and experience based. That's just going to change depending on how much you play the character. Mostly what I'm going to talk about today is the main abilities, both your ultimate, assault, and support ability, and then also go through basically all the skills, and then probably play one mission with the character, trying to kind of just basically show how they play and show how they experience. So let's get started with hers. We've got Embiggen is the ultimate heroic ability. Now, in the gameplay, I'll show you guys when you go into your ultimate, you basically become giant size, like 2 to 3 times the size of her, probably like 3x, it's pretty big. And you get some attacks and refill some willpower, so you get some health back when you go big, and also you're going to be able to do more damage, have a little longer reach, and pretty much start smashing a whole bunch of stuff around. Big sweeping kind of cleave attacks as she swings her big flexible arms around. Overall, fairly cool attack, pretty effective in general. Second one is going to be high five. It's literally like, imagine if you do kind of like a, palm punch or whatever, like it kind of shoves your palm straight forward. It's like, it is a big giant high five, but it extends way far out, pushes enemies away, and also does some pretty high damage. That's going to be your assault. And then your healing spirit, that's your support ability. Refills your entire willpower or health bar, and restores willpower for all other teammates. So it's going to refill yours completely, give your teammates some health as well. It's a nice support ability for healing and just survivability. Overall, not too shabby. Now let's look at her skill tree, at least the primary one we have access to in the beta. Alright, now again, this is the beta build, so remember you're also going to have at least a specialty, a mastery, a couple other skill trees up here. This is just the primary skill tree, and I kind of want to go through each one. I've gotten fairly far with some of these characters, so I've unlocked a decent amount of stuff. But there's always going to be more, I think, leveling up, because I think I'm capped at like level 15 in the beta and spend a decent amount of skill points, but at least you can see everything that you've got. First, you've got your basic light attack. She kind of extends her arms, swings them out, press it once to perform the light melee, and then if you press it 6 times, you get a big long combo that finishes with a big giant clap in the end. And that's that one that actually does a pretty substantial amount of damage. It does not interrupt enemy attacks, but each hit does more damage than the last. Now, the light attacks themselves can be upgraded. So you'll notice flying fists. So while in midair, press, your light attack button to perform an aerial. I'm just using my PlayStation controller. Rapidly pressing the light attack 3 times does a 3-hit combo. The last hit of the combo is a light combo finisher and inflicts significant damage to enemies and knocks enemies back. So that's an upgrade. I don't know if you get these two together. I think you might actually get those from the get-go. Now, an upgrade here is hold light attack to leap upwards while unleashing a flurry of uppercut swings, kind of in order. So launches enemies in the air, tends to also break block or guard or shields, things of that nature. Double down kick. So this is an aerial signature attack. Hold that while in midair, kind of do an like that double over kick, kind of knock enemies down and also break shields, as you can tell as well. Got a spin kick. So this one, if you run and, basically press the light attack button, you kind of do a jumping spin kick as you run. And then while dodging, if you do it, you'll actually do a far-reaching sweep kick. Basically trips all enemies, knocks them on their butt. It's fairly cool. So that's the general with the light attack. Then we've got the heavy attack. Now, the heavy attack is all about basically using both fists, smashing down, doing pretty substantial damage. So you can see here, this is the single and then the 3-hit combo. Big fist smash going on there. And then, of course, your aerial attacks as well. Same thing, pressing that while mid-air. You get a kind of a 2-hit, like an uppercut and a smash-down combo. As you start leveling these up, you'll see double barrel punch. This is when if you hold Hold it to charge up a powerful double punch, and it breaks through defenses and deals additional stun damage. So basically it will break a block, and that's one thing you're looking for on some of these attacks. You'll notice same thing over here. Breaks block, breaks block, damage medium, but guard, if it breaks its block, there's a lot of enemies that will have shields, and you need to have some ways to get through those, so you need to make sure and remember those that will be breaking a block. This is a big one that is a double barrel punch. Now, if you upgrade that, you can do another kick after the double barrel punch. So notice she charges up, she does the big punch, and then if you hit it again, she's going to like clamp down her hands on the ground, pull forward, and do like a front kick as she flies forward. Pretty cool stuff. Now for the aerial attacks, this is another one where if you jump in the air and hold it, you're going to wind up and do a punch that breaks through enemy defenses. And then after performing the hammer fist, which is the one above, you can unlock Fist of Justice. So once you're above in the air, then you can start punching, and it honestly starts to hit them and then start actually juggling them up in the air, doing pretty substantial amount of damage. Again, this will break block as well. Same with this one. You start with this one, which breaks the block, and then you can always add on top. Press that an additional time at the end of Fist of Justice, so it basically extends this combo. And it's going to allow you to perform a heavy combo finish that dives towards enemies with a giant fist. The finisher can be performed at any point in the combo by holding it. So you can go 1, 2, 3, hold it, and the last one will splam. At some point, you can just choose to get that finisher, kind of the big combo slam finisher. Now, the catapult attack, that's the kick. Over here, we've got a couple other options. Now, here you've got your, like, 5-punch regular light combo, and then if you finish the 5 with a 6, you're going to do an overhead kick, and it does break the block as well. So it's a nice way to go light, big combo damage. And then if you got a shield guy coming up, you can turn around and do that slam and break the shield just like she's doing right there. While sprinting, if you drop into a slide kick and kick the legs out from enemies, basically it's a good way to knock people down. Same thing, rubber band bash. While dodging, same thing, you get a chance to add an ability to your dodge, so now your dodge can have both a light and heavy attack. So that's the light and heavy attacks, pretty basic, but I'll show you guys in the gameplay as we go through. Her ranged attacks are fairly cool. Now she's got some options here. Obviously she's got the Mr. Fantastic stretchy mode, so basically you extend your arm out, and basically you'll aim, and then you'll, send your hand out with a big flying punch. Now, the second thing you can do is harpoon. Harpoon is you reach out during the whip fist and grab an enemy, and then as you grab it, you can actually whip them around into other people and basically cause them to do damage as they hit other people. Now, from here, you can go 3 different ways. You can go straight down into grip strength. Drains 50% less intrinsic energy while holding grabbed enemies with harpoon. You've got crushing grasp. While holding onto an enemy, press square to squeeze an enemy, dealing constant damage. Drains intrinsic energy. So you probably would want that one and that one. And then over here, you've got Nutcracker. While holding on to a grabbed enemy, press heavy attack to reel them in and slam them to the ground, dealing damage to nearby combatants. Now, the aerial spike as well. If you hold on to, while holding onto a grabbed enemy in mid-air, and then press the heavy or light attack, you can slam them in the ground, do some nice damage. And then the panic button. Slamming enemies creates a radial pulse of damage based on the type of enemy being slammed. Enemies with special damage types, say like frost, they will inflict that status damage to other enemies. So overall, range is pretty cool. You've got a punch, then you've got a grab, and then you're able to kind of like pick them up, swing them around, or squeeze them with your ranged attack. Finally, your intrinsic ability. This is going to be polymorph. Basically, the way she dodges, and each character has a way to both dodge, and then they also have a very specific parry. The parry is different for everybody. Hulk goes into rage mode, which I'll cover in another video. Iron Man, he actually kind of will parry back if you time it right. And then Black Widow almost does like a little pulse back. They each have their intrinsic ability. Hers basically will morph to get out of the way. Now, from the polymorph ability, which is your basic parry, she's also able to add a couple things. So this, for example, is going to be when you press it right before an attack's hit, so kind of like a perfect parry, what you're going to do is actually kind of throw your hip into the enemy when they parry and actually kind of send the attack back at them. Also, what you're able to do is if you press that immediately after parrying an attack to knock away nearby opponents. So if it's the hip check and then it's a big swing, and it's kind of a nice way to get somebody to fly away. So if you do parry and then fly somebody away, get a little clearance of enemies around you. Come down one level. regenerate willpower by 4%, so a little health burst of regeneration, whenever polymorph is active. So whenever you choose to dodge that, you're actually able to give a little bit of health. Now, I don't know if that's in combat, out of combat. I can test that actually in the mission when we play through it. And then here we've got the Palm Strike. So you press that immediately after parrying an attack to trigger a high stun damage attack that breaks through enemy defenses and can slam enemies to the ground. Overall, fairly cool. Over here, you've got a couple other ones. So you got Whirlwind. While polymorph is active, hold down light attack to spin around and hit all nearby enemies. The skill can also be used while embiggened, so when you're big size, just going to spin even more, which is pretty sick. While polymorph is active, hold heavy attack to crash down to the ground, creating a large shockwave that launches all nearby enemies in the air. Same thing. And then finally, if you come down here, you've got No Surrender. Reduces the intrinsic cost for Whirlwind by 60%, which is kind of crazy because that's definitely going to cost some energy. And it does break block as well, which is cool. And reduces the intrinsic cost for Seismic Slam by 25%. So both of these get to be a little easier on your energy meter, so you can use them more frequently. So that's a run through of what we've got. Now there's going to be 2 other skill trees per character. And again, gear, I've covered all about like the gear, the stats, kind of the idea behind all this stuff in my separate like in-depth preview video. So if you guys want to see that one, link will be in the description and at the end. But what I'm going to do now is just go into kind of the basic harm room. And that's kind of a mission where they continue to spawn enemies in waves. And we're going to see about showing you guys as many of these attacks as possible so you can get a feel for how she plays. All right, so I kind of figure one of the best places to actually show you guys where all this is, one of the practice places are these harm rooms. And what you can see here is the challenge. It's a virtual training module. So you got harm 1, harm 2, harm 3. The enemies tend to get a little bit harder as we go. Just to show you some basic moves. Probably have some medium guys in here. We'll start with this one. And honestly, we'll just kick this one off at harm challenge level 1. Basically matching the difficulty that I am. And we'll see how this goes. All right, everybody, so once you load in, your enemies are going to be here. Now, before I actually walk onto that thing that's going to start it, I'm going to show you guys some of the basic abilities. So you got your 6 combo punch. And big clap. So that's your light combos. Airborne, 1, 2, 3. Now, again, this is if you... That's the sweep. And then... So that's with the actual...
You're going down.
This is actually the polymorph. So this is what actually will heal her. If I get bigger, you're able to kind of move out of the way. But again, these are the actual punches that you've got. Now, heavy attacks on the other side. You got your nice 1, 2, big 3 slam. And then you've got quite a few others. So if you jump in the air, that's kind of your 2-hit combo. If you jump and hold it, you usually have to have an enemy actually to go for when you do those holds. That's the big double barrel. And then that's the kick that follows. You guys want to see Whirlwind. You've got hold polymorph. Big swing there. It's going to use nearly all my energy, basically everything that I've got. It's going to take a little bit to charge back up. And also you can see how she moves around. So she's going to have kind of a grapple similar to Black Widow when you guys see her. And then as she goes, she gets kind of this like bounding jump. Now this is one thing for me that I guess it's just so they can't have infinite momentum in this game, but I wish there was a little bit more of a gradual fall to it, but that's a preference. That's kind of how she runs around for general progression. Now, if you want to see the other one, that's the big giant slam with the basically holding polymorph and then the 2 slams over the top. And again, I'm going to try and parry with the dodge and then parry with a couple. And then the final thing is her melee. So this is going to be like her melee attack. You're actually able to throw your hand out there, kind of... Instead of like shooting a gun or shooting a rocket like some of the others, you basically really far extension, throw your hand out there, and that's your kind of ranged shot. So let's get some enemies out here and see what this looks like. Now these are easy enemies, so don't worry about them being like, you know, going down pretty simply. I did this just for a reason. So this is that juggle I was talking about. Once you start, and that's the finish. Big clap if I can find a guy to hit. And again, this is easy mode, so that's why these waves are probably going to go quick. I could turn up the difficulty, but, you know, if I start getting my butt kicked, looks a little less in the video. See how it goes. So everybody's got different abilities, and I'm going to do a video over each one, so don't worry about that. Now that's the dodge if you need it. I'm going to try and punch this dude in the face. Now one thing I can do, if I can grab and punch him, and then I can actually, like, pull him down. If he's not the perfect dude at dodging, I can actually smash him at other enemies. Now, I don't have the one where I can actually squeeze him, but that would be a cool one as well. But again, as these guys get attacked, big double barrel, that's a good way to break shields. And then if I do this one as well, I can follow it with the double hit, and she's good. She's got kind of those big bounding leaps to her. And that's the charge fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can start picking them up and juggling them in there. Finish with that big slam. And again, these are just the basic trees. I don't know what the specialty trees are going to do. This is just the triple heavy attack that you've got. Now, what I need is actually somebody to attack me. And see if I can actually get some dodges going on here. Probably in slightly later, so that's the over the top. That's the overhead kick, basically, that you get an option to do. And every time you see that little slowdown, it's actually usually just meaning you've kind of defeated all the enemies in that little area. Even if you're out in a mission, if there's like a sub area and you clear all the enemies, it's typically what you're going to see. Alright, let's see if I can get this guy to actually try and attack. So that's the hip check. Now, I've gone invisible because that's one thing Black Widow can do. Now, I can do this two ways. I can kind of look up and try and punch, or if I'm going for a ranged enemy, I can actually just aim and just straight on punch him. Now, different characters are better at like ranged attacks, and then some are better at more melee abilities. The nice thing is, like, depending on your height, you can still drop down and crush some of these enemies pretty well. Yeah, we can get this guy to attack me. Oh, it's just a little air dude. I feel like that's all. Who's left? Somebody's still straggler over here. There we go. Alright, get an attack on. See if this guy will hit me. Come on. And here should be a good place for the clap. Bam. Big smashes. Now those guys actually will explode, so you gotta be careful with them. And again, some of the airborne are easier to use, some of the airborne are a little harder. Like that one is more of a... And that's that little dodge that I can do, get a little health back. And again, even if I'm playing by myself, you're usually going to get your team filled, unless it's a very specific mission. Just these Warzone or any generic multiplayer mission, you can do them all single player. So that's the hip check. And this is going to be my big whirlwind. So she's got a really good cleaving ability. And by cleave, I mean just like swinging and able to hit multiple enemies at the same time, usually in kind of a big open range. It's kind of your airborne light attacks there. These waves are going fairly quickly, but remember, this is phase 1. There's phase 3, and there's some crazy guys in there. If you guys want to see the phase 2 or phase 3 in future videos, let me know. Now, this is definitely a guy with a shield. So for this guy, I've got to use my charge up, and then I can actually charge him with this. Get a little bit more attack going, but as you start to learn to really juggle these guys, it's really powerful. That's the airborne shield break. That's that airborne juggle. And then I can actually finish with pretty much whatever I want. Notice I'm able to juggle this guy like the entire time. It's actually pretty crazy. Now, if you guys want to see me get big, but here, that's the facepalm. Probably would have been a better angle to use that on, but I'll see if I can get it one more time towards the end. Now this one, because if you guys want to see the big one, we're going to go big. But now I'm bigger. But now I have much bigger reach, much bigger sweeping attacks. Usually able to break shields pretty simply. And my damage numbers are pretty crazy high too. And this guy, grab him, smack him down. Big swings. There we go. 2 more rounds. She will probably shrink down by the time I get done. There we go. Now let's see what else I can earn back. Now, if I take any damage, I can hit L1. I'm going to heal myself and my teammates. Then once you really start juggling these guys, it gets to be really effective. Now, you also can lock onto enemies as well, something I didn't know for a little while. But you definitely can do that. So if you got a certain enemy that you're looking to get a hold of, trying to target on, I can send it out to those guys. Big slams. Now, the one thing cool you can do, any enemy that you get kind of enough, like, composure broken on, you can do these little finishers like this. So I can actually kind of pick up and throw them into a big knee. And wave 7 is, wave 8 is done. So 2 more waves, almost there. This is just a way for you guys to get a feel of how the character plays. Honestly, she's got a decently versatile moveset. I think she could be very, very fun to play with, actually. Just because you got the range, you've got some nice cleaving, you got some sweeps. And again, that's the dodge. If you get those dodges... There's the whirlwind I was trying to show you guys. Now, if you guys want to see a cool one, let me get this. Let me see if I can find a good guy to throw this one on. Oh, this will work actually pretty well if I can just get by you two. Come here. This guy. And big high five. And that's pretty powerful. You're going to knock a ton of dudes back. Lots of damage from that one. Overall, very powerful move and a nice way to clear an area if you need it. And again, little finisher here, you know, knocks him up in the air. Last one, I can grab this guy out of the ground, kind of smack him into the wall a little bit. Gonna do some damage either way, kind of finish him off. Probably have a little bit of a boss, but that's the nice thing about her. Technically, I could do that squeeze grab if I had it, but I actually don't have it unlocked on the beta. I got other skills, but hopefully you're gonna be able to unlock a ton of them. Last wave, I don't know if there's a boss or a big bot in here. There we go. So you gotta dodge out of the way. You can charge here, get the nice little punch and juggle. Then I can leap and bound over this one. A nice little charge and juggle. I can finish with that one if the enemy's big enough. Okay. Now that's blocked by a shield, so I gotta go a little stronger. Hey, thanks. Now these bots are definitely something you gotta pay attention to for sure. So, I can heal all my allies here, go for a big slam. Now, if this guy I want to go for my big slam here. Come on. Oh, I just got, like, totally status reduced there. High five. Nice way. Look how far back they go. That's even an enemy that's not dead yet, but I just put that much into it. Gotta dodge a little bit here. See if I can go for my big charge. Really hard to hit that one, actually. But not always, and that's why I was like, these bigger bots are definitely something you gotta pay attention to. Work together, knock them out.
The enemies have been defeated.
So that's a general run through of Kamala Khan. So she is Mr. Fantastic, flexible, kind of ranged attacks, a lot of variety, but you can go, you know, cleaving attacks, big sweeps, lots of kind of focused heavy damage if you need it, shield breaking, of course, and all that stuff kind of unlocks over time. I don't know what specialty or the mastery skill trees are going to be, but hopefully this gives you guys a preview to see if this is a character you may want to start playing through. You're going to be probably playing her a decent amount in the campaign anyway, so she's actually good. It's good that she's got some pretty cool movesets to her, but that is Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to have a few other ones for you guys to come after this, but thank you guys very much for following. Thank you for the support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Looking forward to seeing when this game comes out and enjoying the story. So I will have a good weekend, and I will check you guys this week. You guys can find me on Twitch, Twitter. If you haven't subbed yet, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. Obviously, more videos are going to be coming to you guys. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment. If you have any thoughts, what's your favorite character in the beta? Make sure you let me know.